Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Let some people pop up on here real quick. If you're in the room and I do not see you, hit that thumbs up or hit some hearts or just say hello, and we'll go from there. I just wanted to hop on here and do a live for a couple minutes. Do, 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 do. There we go. We're starting to get some people into the live. I hope everybody's having a great and blessed day. Who's in the room with me? Let me know who's in here with me. There we go. We're starting to get some people in. If you're popping in, say hi. Just give it a minute. Lampros, hello from Greece. How are you, sir? Or madam, I'm sorry, I don't know which is which there. God, how are you? Veronica, hi from Ireland. How are you? Let some more people pop on here. Had an interesting day today. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start. There we go. I'm going to go ahead. Crystal, how are you? I'm going to go ahead and start talking with you guys. I put a post up earlier. I don't know if everybody has seen. Hey, Becca, how are you? I don't know if everybody has seen the big story that's going out today. And that is the simple fact of the West Virginia State Police are now in the midst of doing a investigation on Eric and an investigation on Patrick. Guys, let's be honest. We saw this coming. Hello, Heather. How are you? We saw this coming. There were too many red flags out there. There were too many things going on. A lot of people had started, you know, questioning a lot of things about the money. Even Eric and Patrick had started talking about the money.
We got gone.
What's that, buddy?
I supposed to let you drive over there.
I don't know. I don't know. Hello, Sharon. That is Lucian. He is. We have two little chipmunks that run around in front of the house, and he is watching the chipmunks today. Um, but a lot of people you knew were going to start questioning this. Um, Noe, if you have not seen, the state of West Virginia, the state police have stepped in and started an investigation on Eric and Patrick. And guys, one of the reasons why I wanted to pop on and do a live here real quick with you, prayers for the Whitakers. Absolutely right. If anybody in this chat has donated to the Whitakers over the past 3 to 4 months, those are the dates that they're giving you. You need to contact the West Virginia State Police and let them know that you have donated, because it all then becomes a part of the investigation they're doing right now, folks. They're looking at fraud, they're looking at scams, they're looking at everything right now. But the key thing here is, and this is why I popped in here today, if, and again, if you have donated anything to Patrick, the Whittaker family, um, to Eric, they need to know that. And yes, the boys in blue. Yeah, Santa wears blue every now and then. Keep things a little easier on things. Um, but you got to let them know that um, even if you sent coloring books, if you had sent sodas, drinks, anything like that, the state of West Virginia would like to know that. If you go to the post that I put up earlier about this, there is a phone number in that post. or you can contact the West Virginia State Police and talk with them. I think what they want to do is they basically want to figure out how much money they're dealing with and how many people are involved in this. There's only two right now that they're looking at, and that is Eric and Patrick. Hey, Lori, hi from Virginia. That's the key thing right now. But the state of West Virginia, if you get $1 million and the tax company wants 500,000, what do? Don't run from the tax man. Pay the tax man. CJ doesn't. A lot of people, I've heard that from a lot of people today that have sent me messages, and everybody's kind of been, setting back and waiting and watching. And that's one of the things that we've discussed on this channel is to be very careful because there's a lot of people out there that will scam you. And regardless of what it is, if it's with the Whittakers, if it's credit card fraud, or check fraud, all kind of different things. There's so many games out there, folks, that these people are playing, and they just want your money, and that's what it all boils down to. It. Wanda, investigation on Eric and Patrick. Yes, guys, I'm telling you, they better have everything in a row. They better have their ducks in a row. And it kind of makes you wonder now, with them going to the attorney the other day, if they didn't know this was coming. If they might have had some ideas that this was coming down, down the line. What happened to the dogs? Bennett wants to know what happened to the dogs. Bennett, we've talked about this before. We are believing that they are over at Larry's or Kenny's, around in that area. Nobody has really said anything about the dogs. And I believe that, I believe they're still around the house there in that area. Skittle, who's Eric and Patrick? If you don't know who Eric and Patrick are, those are the two men that we got to get you caught up. Those are the two men that literally, Patrick was the first one, from what I understand, that had started trying to help the family. And next thing you know, Patrick's come involved. Now Ernie's in the mix here. It would not shock me if Ernie doesn't get investigated as well in this mix. Jaden, where's your gifts? You got to be good. When you're good, you get good things. That's what happens in this world. Yeah, that's the thing with these accounts, and Eric's been one that's over top, and he says that he can, right now, that he can basically say that he has records of everything. He's going to have to prove that, plain and simple. I'm sure the West Virginia State Police now are sitting there going, guys, you better have everything documented, because here's the thing, guys, and you've seen it. And you've seen the videos, and you've seen the text messages and things like that. They started discussing money here, and they started talking about, they weren't talking about $10. They were talking about thousands of dollars. They were talking about donations coming in. Somebody now wants proof of what's been coming in. They better have records of all of this stuff. Scammers and cons, Lovebug, you are exactly right. Scammers and cons. Has anybody seen the Whittakers? The only one that we are seeing right now is we are seeing Betty sometimes on a video or a picture. Larry pops in every now and then. Kenny every now and then. But as you know, with the other three, with Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy, they are in a place right now to where I doubt you will see a video of them. They need to go, and don't be surprised if they don't. And West Virginia girl makes a good point here, and she says they need to go back from day one and investigate all of this. Don't be surprised if they don't. Don't be surprised if somebody doesn't go and knock on Mark's door and say, Mark, we'd like to see your records. Here's the good thing with Mark, though, that I think needs to be addressed. Mark has always made reference to the fact that he knew that the money he was receiving, he was getting, he had to pay taxes on, and taxes was paid on that money. So I think there's an avenue there where he at least understood that there was a lot of money coming in, and that he had to literally sit there and make the tax man happy. So he's made even reference to that. Yes, Sharon, you're exactly right. From my understanding, Mark paid taxes on his. I think he had to. I think he knew that that was a huge amount of money coming in all at one time. And like I said, I think the state of West Virginia is tired of them being exploited. Yes, you got it exactly right. I don't know if it's the state of West Virginia as much as it is the people around them. And I think somebody, possibly reached out and just said, "Hey guys, hopefully the sheriff or whoever, the judges and things around that town said, why don't we go ahead and investigate this?" Today, one Skip has also making money off of them and promised to donate. Thinks she will. Guys, here's the thing. I think anybody, including myself, I'd love to donate to that family. But here's the thing that has to happen. You've got to have it in a place to where you can donate without feeling like you're getting scammed. That is the key thing here. And right now with I know a lot of people like Eric, a lot of people like Patrick, a lot of people like Ernie, a lot of people, but boy, this just the situation, you just want to feel like you're doing it right, and you're not getting taken advantage of. And I'm look, that's with anybody. If anybody puts something out there that you want, you know, if you want to donate to someone, do it properly. It always amazes me that when somebody has a house fire, somebody's in a car wreck or something, the first thing they want to do is they want to open up a GoFundMe. Well, one GoFundMe opens up, two GoFundMe's opens up, three GoFundMe's open up. You got to be really careful. You got to make sure that the GoFundMe's that you're giving to and the charities you're giving to are actually getting to the people. And here's the one thing, guys, I want you to remember, because this is something that always sticks out to us. When you hear somebody sit there and say a portion of the proceeds will go to this family, when that happens, that normally means that somebody's taking some money out of that. It's not all going to that family, plain and simple. So, please be careful on that. The one third is foul. I'm shocked. Yes, and Eric admitted to that. And from what I saw the other night, somebody had made reference to the fact that he was getting money off of the clicks and the likes and everything like that off of all the platforms. Patrick was making money off of his platforms, and then the donations were going to the Whittakers. Um, I'd love for them to check into that. Trust me, I think we're going to find a lot of shady things went on that we just didn't know about. Mark was a businessman before he was a photographer. Yes. Like I said, I really think Mark had the good intentions there of sitting there doing something um, that, he wanted to help these people. But he was sitting there at one time, I think it was 155,000, and he knew that if he gave everything to the Whitakers, they would not pay taxes on it. He knew that if he didn't do something, so he ended up, from what I understand, he ended up paying the taxes on it. So that's the thing that I've seen there, and a lot of people have made reference to that. Um, am I late? What did I miss? Basically, what you missed, that the state of West Virginia, the state police have stepped in. Their scam and fraud unit has stepped in to do an investigation on Eric and Patrick right now. Um, bank account to Jane Doe. You're exactly right. And that was one of the things that, even though Eric had made reference to it, I think it was the Amish had even sat there and said, look, if we come in and build a home for you, we've got our own bank to where we can handle the money for you guys to make sure nobody gets taken. You know, Lovebug Mark is a wonderful person. Let me tell you, I believe that. I believe that his intentions were true and honest, and I think it just got overwhelming on him. I really do. Um, Eric gave Patrick 4K out of the money to buy insulation sheetrock for the house. To me, that is shady. A lot of people have had problems with that. A lot of people have had problems with that. But it was kind of, from what we saw, it was kind of set up on, I'll give it to you this month, but we need to take it out of next month's proceeds. A lot of people didn't like that. Don't mess with the money. It was, oh, Moonlight, it wasn't his to give, correct. But when you hear them speaking of this, it got to the point that it it was viewed as, we'll just take it out of next month's. So, guys, from these guys saying that, it kind of makes you think to yourself that they were going to run this for quite a while. Let me see here. Okay. Guys, I apologize. I just saw a comment go through and I didn't care too much for that comment. Um, so I've removed that person out of the channel. I apologize for that. Um, let's see here. Betty, is that Patrick sleeping on her couch? I just saw a video where, yes. Um, Penny, that's why I removed that person out of the chat. There's no sense for a comment like that in this world. Um, yeah, everybody knew. Everybody knew that there was going to be an investigation. Guys, here's the thing. If you get in these chats with us, this is a safe space for everybody. I want everybody to talk to us. I want everybody to get along. I watch people communicate with each other through the chats. I want everybody to be good people in this chat. All we're trying to do is learn together. I want people to just literally just be good people. But boy, you've got some people that'll come on in here and they'll say some things that don't make those foolish comments. Don't do that. Amy, what's the update? West Virginia has stepped in and they're currently doing an investigation on Eric and Patrick for fraud. So that is what you're. I hope they help Betty right now. I think so. I really hope so. God don't like ugly. You are exactly right. Don't be nasty. Don't be hateful. Betty's house didn't even have working toilet or running water until Eric paid a $600 bill. Now, guys, do I think some of the money went to actually help them? I do. We were just talking, things were getting paid, some bills were getting paid and things like that. But a lot of people have the issue with when a large amount of money starts coming in, it's then a matter of you think this money's going to the Whittakers, and then next thing you know, other hands are getting involved. People are sticking their hands in the cookie jar, taking more cookies out. Ernie Evans, from what I understand, he is a bluegrass promoter. He is an acquaintance of Patrick somehow, and he has been involved. It would not shock me if Ernie is investigated, because he has popped up into all of this now. So could they all be put into Joy? Joy. Now that's a question, and from what I'm understanding and from what we're hearing, I think the place that they're in right now, they are all together. I don't think they've separated. I think the state kind of knows um, that it's probably best if they keep them together. I think that is one of the things that really needs to be looked at. And guys, we've spoke on it before. If anybody builds them a home and gets them to the point to where they can be brought back together as a family, there's going to be a lot of expense there. They will need around the clock, 24 hours a day care. There's going to be a lot of things involved there. Who is Larry living with? I am assuming that Larry is living in the trailer up on top of the hill, the pull along trailer. I'm assuming where we see BJ and them go into, and I know Larry pulls his truck up there. I'm assuming he is there. Now, Beth just said, she goes, I'm not sure if Ray's out of the hospital yet. He was malnourished and nutrition deficient. Guys, I have heard nothing on that. I don't know. If you've heard something, thank you for sharing that. Um, the way I suspect Betty didn't see a lot of the donations. I think a lot of the donations where Eric would sit there and say he was using his own money he was using his own money, but was he using the money that was donated to him? Was he using, that's the thing. Kenny lives next door. Okay, I'm gonna cover this real quick and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. That's what I love about you guys. I watched a video to where Larry lived on the other side of the street on that little hill, on that little knoll. He had one house that completely burned down. He then had a mobile home, from what I understand, that Betty had paid for. He then has the little pull along trailer that somebody had donated to them. I believe that trailer is still there for them to stay in. Am I correct? Or has three houses burned, or three trailers burned down on him? Let's see. Drunk says just two. Right. So I still believe the small little trailer is there that they're using. I believe so. Okay, Beth says the pull along. Wow, I did not know that the pull along trailer had both burned down. That is, there's an issue there. If there are food trailers there now, right? I don't know. With this investigation going on, I don't know if Betty will be removed from where Patrick's at. I don't know that. That is something that the full-size trailer did burn down. Okay, yes. But that is something that I'm sure the state of West Virginia is looking into as well. Yeah. That's the thing, is that a lot of people felt like these guys were legitimate from the start. And guys, again, their intentions may have been very pure. We just don't know that. But I think when money gets involved, it'll turn good people bad, for the simple fact of, a lot of people are not used to that much money just coming at you all at once. Okay, True Rebel. They have the house and the bumper pulled camper, and I believe the camper is where Larry was staying. That's the one I keep seeing. Let's see. Money is the root of all evil. Let me tell you, money can help you, money can hurt you. It's just one of those things. Um, a lot of good can be done with money, a lot of evil can be done with money. The Shannon says, hit the like button, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, Ray just said it. Not having money is also the root of evil. Guys, did the state make Betty leave the trailer? I'm not sure how the living situation got to be. Ronald said it's a double edged sword. It is. I don't know how the living situation got to the point unless Patrick just sat there and said, Betty, you're going to come down here and live with us. You're going to live with me until we can figure this out. So I'm not sure how that happened. Is Eric related to them? I don't believe so. Eric is an advocate for fathers' rights, and I don't know how Patrick got to the point that he knew Eric, but somehow in the mix of things, Eric came into the picture. For the first time, Betty is not a caregiver. You're exactly right, and I do. I pray that Betty's life gets better. Guys, if you've ever had anybody in your life that you've had to take care of, if you've had parents or grandparents, and they get to a point where they need care, and then something happens to that individual, you could have been taking care of somebody for years, and then all of a sudden it just stops one day. And that's what happened with Betty. Betty had been taking care of this family for years. The state comes in, removes these three from the home. Everything that Betty had ever lived for had been taken away from her. Just like that. In an instant. Boom. Just like that. I do feel sorry for Betty. I know a lot of people on here sit there and say, Betty was right in the middle of it. She was instigating things. She was doing things. She may be. But at the end of the day, her family was taken from her. And it does. It's heartbreaking when things like that happens. BJ was in the bumper pull when Eric saw her hand. Okay, so that trailer, like I said, that trailer is still there. The trailer thing is a little confusing over the simple fact that several of these have burned down. Gary said Betty is easily led. Yes, and we have seen that. But Betty's also one that if you watch, Betty will help that family. When questions are asked, Betty will defend her family. If somebody says, hey, did this happen? And everybody else around knows that it didn't happen, Betty will say, well, yeah, it happened. You know, yeah, nobody saw it, nothing happened. Betty's one to defend her family quick. Um, I think Betty was afraid to say anything. I think she still is. Guys, a lot of stuff's going on where Betty's concerned. And, I've said it before. I think Betty's just looking for somebody to be good to Betty. Um, Candace, nobody's gaslighting anything. I promise you, nobody is gaslighting anything. We're in a safe space here to talk, and I promise you, nobody is gaslighting anything. You didn't hear from me. It's time to worry about Betty's and the other three. Exactly right. Exactly right. Ah, Beth said the one there now. Okay, thank you. Somebody said Betty's looking to be taken care of now. I'm sure. I'm sure Betty is tired. Betty's got some age on her. I'm sure. Guys, be nice in the chat. You know, drugs and alcohol. Come on, man. They're not saints either. I understand that completely. I understand that completely. That I'm in the state of Virginia, and one of the things we hear is, look, in my area, the drugs are extremely bad right now. And you hear about how bad they are in West Virginia and you in some of these smaller towns. West Virginia girl, I'm working on that. Somebody made that reference to me the other day and said I probably need a moderator, and I think that may be coming. Let's see here. Why is Patrick trying to get in touch with Eric so bad? Let me tell you, he may have known something that this was coming down the line today, and he may have been, just trying to reach out. Mm, yeah, drugs are bad everywhere, guys. I'm talking. Uh, you look at some of these little towns and things like that, and boy, there it's rough in some of these towns. Timmy graduated from high school. Princess, yes. From what we've been told, Timmy graduated from high school. Now, what that education consisted of, I don't know. So that's because when you hear Eric and people talk about it, they are making reference to the fact that he is like a small child. He's 46 years old, but they did say that he graduated from high school. Um, yeah, people can't expect people to be perfect. No, that's the thing, guys. Nobody's perfect in this world. We all have flaws, and we all sin. We all do bad things. Nobody's perfect. You know, yeah, that's the thing. Nobody's perfect in this world. Let's just accept each other. Snoop says, Team Eric, hey, if that's the way you feel and that's the way, God bless you. Nobody's going to say anything about that. Be humble and kind, yes. Now they're going to wish they just cleaned Betty's house. Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if cleaning was the one issue. I think that the floors had started to rot out in it. I think it was the septic's problem, and I think there were issues there that could they have been taken care of? Yes, but I think it was a lot of issues there that needed to be addressed, and nobody was addressing them. Team Whittaker, Team Santa Claus. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Guys, at the end of the day, we just want the best for this family. I want you to pray for this family. I want you to, remember that these are human beings, and they were thrown onto a stage that the world got to see them, and they became famous out of this. And with fame becomes some issues that needed to be addressed. And like I said, I think Mark had started to run into that. Things had started to happen. Um, I think the state police stepping in today, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, guys, I think the state police stepping in today is a good thing. I think this will, Eric always made reference to the fact what's done in the dark will be brought to the light, and that's true. I think a lot of things were done in the dark here, and it's going to be brought to the light, and that's a good thing. So many lies, so many lies. Dreamscape says so many lies. Um, are either one of these guys saints? No, no. But guys, was it a point of started with good intentions and then went bad, or was it just bad intentions all the way around? That's up for you to decide. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. It's been 35 minutes. Thank you so much. Go out and do something good for somebody today. Again, keep the Whittaker family in your prayers. And wow, what a way to start the week. And thank you so much. And be good to each other. Be good to each other. Say hi. Say thank you. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Just be good to each other today. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.